First, let me welcome everybody, to Super News, basically created by Grinners, just by myself. I'm a big fan of comic books, and particularly in the last couple of years, comic book movies have been my biggest passion, and things kind of surrounding them, superhero stuff, news in general. I'm gonna try to present a big package of stuff, real big package of stuff that should only probably take about 2 minutes, probably. Sorry. Anyway, so I wanted to start off by kind of summing up one of the big things that's going on right now. Marvel's putting out another animated feature. It's going to feature Punisher and Black Widow facing off against one another. It can be really good to have animated because it's one of the only other ways to get the feel of the combat between superheroes and stuff like that. But the problem is they, of course, have to jam in characters to make them more relevant, I guess. And they got Iron Man, they got Thor, they got Miss Marvel, they got War Machine. And honestly, I think it would just be better if Black Widow and Punisher just decided they didn't like one another and decided to kill one another. Would be a lot simpler. We don't need more Avengers just to pull stuff off anymore, Marvel. We get it. They can do it on their own. Anyway, moving on. If you don't watch Arrow, it is a stellar show. It really is just it's way ahead of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. seems like they have a much larger budget and they're just kind of squandering it. This is a warning to you, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm pretty much done with you if you don't start giving me what I want. Alright? It's a threat. Anyway, we got our first look at a brand new Deathstroke recently, and I have to say, the costume looks awesome. He looks like Deathstroke, as you would remember him in the comics. I think my only problem with it is the helmet. The helmet seems stormtrooperish and kind of almost impractical. More time will tell. I like the more fabric-y kind of look to it because it makes more sense. Alright, moving on. The Lego movie. The Lego movie is going to be coming out in a little while. You got Chris Pratt in it, who's actually playing Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think that's interesting because you also got Batman in this movie. And this is one of the only areas, only film types that doesn't have any kind of boundaries or anything. It seems like there could be a crossover between Marvel and DC, possibly having characters fight one another because Lego plays Marvel, Lego plays DC. They're both available. So, another tip for you guys out there. Fun fact. If you're looking for a laugh or something, there's Thor, The Dark World, where they actually have a little clip here with Tom Hiddleston. And he basically, there's a scene where he's walking through the halls with Thor, and he changes into a whole bunch of different people that Thor recognizes. He, at one point, changes into Captain America. And Cap, played by Chris Evans, had to know what Loki would be saying at the time, so he put on the Captain America costume and does the entire line, and then you can see Captain America, Chris Evans, come in and do his part as well. But Tom Hiddleston is just so much thinner than Chris Evans. It's kind of ridiculous. So I give you this as a peace offering because, my God, that is hilarious. I mentioned Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. earlier, but basically, this show has really been up and down for me, and I know for a lot of people that consistently watch it, it just doesn't catch all the time. The superheroes are not quite right. Even though we have technically gotten a couple of supervillain origins as a story, a hero origin, even though the hero technically died and now has come back as Deathlock. Interesting turn. They changed one of the characters was already building toward that, but now he's totally on track. He's missing an eye. For those who don't know Deathlock, I'll put up an image. He is cybernetic, and this dude is effectively cybernetic. I don't know if he was always based on extremists, which is what every goddamn thing on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is about. It's extremists, it's technology. There's very little superhuman related things, like people being awesome. Other than May and Ward, who are two agents that are badass. They're the really, like, the good redeeming factors of the show. And Coulson. Coulson also always is awesome. He's like the core of the Marvel Universe. Alright, so, the main event. The big kahuna, the big elephant in the room, is the Empire releases of the cover art for X-Men Days of Future Past. And I'd just like to say, I didn't like First Class very much starting off. We had a story. It was good enough. You should have filmed that. Anyway, now, first one I look at is apparently Blink, even though she looks like Psylocke. Kind of annoying that they couldn't just keep that straight right off the bat. Now we got Magneto. Michael Fassbender, he's really good as Magneto. He's one of the few characters I did like from First Class, so let's keep it that way. We'll save him for last. You got Beast. Kind of looks like the Wolfman, even in the picture. It's like they got him in the same pose as the Wolfman. Beast is supposed to be a smart guy. He's supposed to think things through before he goes nuts and beats the hell out of people. Fun fact, you know? The Sentinel. I mean, okay, it's close. I mean, it's a lot closer than we've gotten in the last couple of years to really anything, even remotely close to a Sentinel, except for that stupid moment in X-Men 3, which most fans have still not forgiven the series for, by teasing us with Sentinels that had no purpose in the movie. Why were they fighting Sentinels in the first place? I'm getting off base. Looks close enough. It's close enough to a Sentinel. Whatever. Kind of corny, but whatever. Trask. Peter Dinklage. Tyrion. He's Tyrion. So, I'm just going to pass that over. He's awesome, regardless. Still trying to figure this one out. I'm not even going to comment on that, because I don't know who you are, Mr. Guy in the military suit. Havoc. Whatever. I mean, sure. Whatever. Ugh. Toad. Okay. So, Fox has redone Toad again, and they still got it wrong. Doesn't even look like him. I know Toad. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Ray Parks from the original X-Men looked better than this guy. What the fuck is on his eyes? Can someone tell me that? Why is he wearing those? He doesn't need freaking goggles. He's a mutant. Whatever. And now for the top of the list. The biggest pile of dog shit out there. Quicksilver. I swear to God, they had no ideas for this character's appearance, so they just jammed Silver up his ass. Over and over again. Every time Singer saw him, he was like, oh my God, more Silver, more Silver. His shoes, his belt, his jacket, his hair, his earrings, It looks like a joke. Now, I agree, you can't have Quicksilver look like how he did in the comic books, but you certainly as fuck cannot have him look like that. That is an insult. He's probably the primary reason why I won't waste my time with this movie. Moving on. That's for today in Super News. Thanks for watching. More Green Grinners to come. Bye.